everyone, and welcome to Ohio Valley Vlogs. My name is Nick. Nice to meet you. I'm here today with a video about how I got in a car accident. Yes, I got in my first ever car accident, and hopefully my last, but my first car accident today when I'm filming this, and it was pretty intense, very scary, and just a lot. And so I started this channel. My slogan is how a 22-year-old gets through life and navigates through life, and I share the fun stuff. I share how I've built up another YouTube channel where I have almost 40,000 subscribers and how I do that, and I share, you know, how I'm on a weight loss journey and just fun family things and stuff like that. And I like to share the fun stuff, but this vlog channel isn't just about the good times. It also is about the scary times and the sad times. And so today was one of those, and I want to take you guys along through the story and share with y'all what happened. So let's just get into that. All right, guys. So I'll share my story with y'all. This is being filmed September the 1st. This is the day the accident happened. And, you know, it's pretty raw and emotional still for me because this could have gone such a different way. Looking back, it's pretty amazing how the Lord had his hand in the whole thing. I wasn't hurt. The person who crashed into me wasn't hurt. Her kids, she didn't have her kids with her. She had just dropped her kids off a while before that. There was nobody in the back seat, no other passengers in either of our cars. It truly is amazing how all of this worked out, and it is such a blessing. Our cars both were very harmed, but both of us were physically fine, and that's really what matters. Cars can be replaced, but people can't, and it's so important to remember that. So yeah, it's pretty raw and emotional still. I don't get emotional very easy, but it just was a very traumatic experience. So let me just kind of give you all the rundown. So today I had some errands to run. I started out by going to Walmart. I originally thought about going and doing this errand first, but I didn't do it. I needed to go to Walmart today to film a video for my couponing channel. I needed to take care of that. I also need to go to the bank. I never go to the bank. I usually do all my banking digitally. I love digital banking. It's awesome. I hate going to the bank. It's always super busy and it's just slow and kind of annoying. But I needed to go because I needed to get some cash out of my account. So I had to go. And I originally thought, well, I'll go do the bank first and get that done, and then I'll go to Walmart. But I thought, well, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be carrying, you know, a lot of cash around. You know, it could get stolen. You never know. It's just kind of a threat to have cash lying around because there's nothing you can do. Like if my wallet got stolen and my credit cards, I could easily cancel those and dispute charges. But with cash, it's kind of like, oh, you're out. So I don't want to carry a lot of cash around. So I thought, okay, I'll go to Walmart first and I'll go to the bank last. So I went to Walmart and then I headed to the bank. So in my town, it is the first of the month, and the first of the month, everything is a lot busier, and the roads are crazy traffic, and the stores are busier, stuff like that. And so that was a factor today. I don't know if I'd say it's a factor to the accident. It kind of is, so I'll explain it when I get to it. And so I left Walmart and was heading to the bank. And so if you're local, I do have a couple locals. I'll kind of explain everything. So Walmart on Maple Avenue is where I was. And Maple Avenue, if you're familiar, it is the main drag in town. It's where like literally most of everything is in Zanesville. The hospital, the mall, all the grocery stores, not all of them, but a lot of the grocery stores, clothing stores, stuff like that. A lot of the banks are located off of Maple Avenue. So it's just, there's a lot of stuff going on that main road. So traffic was pretty busy. So I left the Walmart and I was going to Park National Bank on Maple Avenue. So I am approaching the intersection to go to the bank, which is a four-way intersection. There's a traffic light, and the traffic light does have a green arrow so that people who are turning left, you get a green arrow so you don't have to sit there when, you know, the lights are just green and people coming from both directions, there's a green arrow. So I approach the intersection and I see it's a green arrow, which is good. Now, there was a few people in front of me, to my knowledge. I am going to say that a lot of this, if you've been in a car accident, you understand literally everything happens in a split second, and it's really hard to remember everything. And I talked to the other lady who was the one who hit me, and she said the same thing. Like, we were both trying to rack our brain around it and try to remember all of this stuff. Sorry if you heard a lot of noise. My dad just opened the deep freezer and slammed it really hard. So, yeah, that was loud. We were both talking. We're like, oh, I just can't remember exactly what happened. And she was like, no, I don't remember it either. It happened in a split second. And so we were literally sitting there trying to rack our brain. But what in my memory, that this is, I can't be 100% sure, but this is what I'm pretty sure happened. It was a green arrow, and so I get to the intersection, there's a few people turning left, and then I get up there, and I turn left. The lady, at that point, I was turning left, and she began to proceed. So she was sitting at the light. She was the first one at the light, and she proceeded to go. And so as I'm turning, she whams into my car, into the rear of the passenger side, whams into my car. And so it was like a demolition derby kind of crash. I mean, I heard the crash sound. It was like, oh my gosh. And it was scary. It was scary. And so it was a split second. I didn't have time to really think. And so I pulled off at the bank. Thankfully, my car was still drivable, so I was able to get it to the bank. And then the nice lady did come. The lady who crashed into me, she came to the bank as well. And she came out, and I kid you not, I was nervous that this lady was going to be like, how could you cause an accident? Because I didn't know at that point, I thought I knew what happened, but I didn't know if she'd be mad at me, if she thought I should have, I don't know. But this lady was the nicest lady ever. She came out and she was like, I am so sorry. Are you okay? Is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, I am okay. I said, it's okay. I understand. And that's the thing that I loved, is that people can get so angry in those situations because one of us ultimately was responsible. We don't know which. One of us was ultimately responsible, but we did not get angry at each other. It happened, and it happened. We can't change it. One of us messed up. It happened, and we got to move on. And so she was so sweet. She was like, are you okay? I am so sorry. And I was like, yes, I'm okay. And we were checking with each other. And her car, her front bumper was very damaged. And I was in a state of shock at that moment. I was like, I asked her, I said, I drove in here. Is my car damaged? And she was like, oh yeah, it's damaged on this side. So I get out of my car, and I look, and it is damaged. I'm going to put in some footage here of that. The rear of the passenger side got really busted in. That's where she hit it. And, very damaged. The rim, half of the rim of the tire fell off, and the gas cap got kind of smushed in. My door, the passenger door on the right side, it will not open anymore. And a lot of damage. Now, weirdly enough, the gas cap, even though it's smushed in, it'll still open. But the door, the passenger door, it will not open at all. So it was crazy. So she was like, do you want to go ahead and call the police? Because obviously you got to notify the police. So I called the police, and about 20 minutes later they showed up and kind of took our statements. And neither of us, that he asked us questions, and we both kind of gave our ideas of what happened. She said that she thought she saw people beside her moving. That could have been people in the other direction, because if you have a green arrow, the people who are going straight in my direction would have proceeded and not her side of the road. She said she thought she had a green light, but she didn't know. She said that when she hit me, everything stopped. No one moved on either direction. But then no one did stop to be a witness or anything like that. The officer said nobody called in to report it, so we don't know who did it. And so he said there is not a traffic camera installed here, so we can't look, but he was going to check with the bank and see their surveillance, and he said he'd give us a call. I've never heard anything yet, so maybe he'll let me know tomorrow or something like that, if they can figure out who's at fault. But he said it might just be that we never find out who's at fault, which is kind of hard. I'd like to know which one of us is at fault. I really do. In my head, what happened was I had a green arrow and I turned, but you never know. You never know. It literally was a split second. It was a split second. And the important thing is, this could have gone such a different way. This could have been fatal. It really could have. And the woman said, I'm just so glad my babies weren't in this car, because she had just dropped them off somewhere. Not that long ago, she was in town running errands. She owns a restaurant, a bar or something. So she was in town doing stuff for that, but she dropped her babies off somewhere else. And I was just like, oh, isn't that amazing? It's just so amazing. I hate that we had to get in an accident at all, but these things do happen, and I'm thankful it could have gone such a different way. I could have, when she hit me, I could have swerved and spun around on the road. That didn't happen. I could have hit another car swerving around on the road. That didn't happen. She hit my car, but I was able to keep moving safely to the parking lot. She was okay. No harm to her. Her car. She actually was borrowing her car from her boyfriend's mom, so I feel bad for her for that. But she was okay. And oh, you know what our biggest problems were in that moment? Is that she had chicken wings in the car. She was worried we're going to thaw out, and I had milk in the car. I was worried it was going to thaw out and get too hot. That was our biggest worries in that moment. We were all okay. My dad even mentioned, since she literally rammed into where the gas cap was, he was like, oh my gosh, your car could have exploded. And he's right. Like, seriously. And when you look back and you think about it, it should have been a lot worse. Literally, when somebody slams into your car like a demolition derby, would bump your car into another direction. Mine stayed perfectly straight. It's like she bumped it and I didn't move. Like, nothing happened. I stayed straight on the road. If it would have, when it bumped me and I like spun in a circle and wound up in the other lane, I could have hurt somebody else. So it's like, wow, she didn't get rear-ended either. Like, seriously, she could have got rear-ended. Things could have been so much worse. So much worse. And yeah, it sucks that the accident happened at all, but really how it worked out, other than our cars being damaged, we are all safe and healthy, and that's the important thing. That's the important thing in all of this. I wasn't vlogging while driving, by the way. I know that somebody will probably say that. Were you vlogging? No, I was not. In a way, I kind of wish I was, because I might have had, what happened on tape. But no, I was not vlogging anything, so that wasn't why I got in an accident. It's just one of those, I don't know if there's really a cause. And that's why if they don't find out who's at fault, I don't know. So like I said, the police they said they were going to look into the surveillance of the bank. So we'll see. He said he'll call me regardless, so I'll find out what he found out, hopefully soon. But I'm just glad that I'm still here. I'm glad that I'm still here, and that she's still here. I'm glad everybody's okay. I'm glad no one else was involved. Just like I said, it's amazing that when somebody bumps into you that hard and your car doesn't even move, it stayed perfectly straight into the lane so I could pull off safely and not hit anybody else. Like, it's wonderful. It's just such an amazing thing. God's protection over me and that whole thing. So yeah. And I'm not gonna be shy about giving God the praise for it. Again, I don't know why it had to happen, but things in life happen like that. And it's just a part of life. And so I'm thankful though, because it could have been so much worse. It could have been so much worse. So yeah. And it'll be fine. I can share my mom's car or something like that until I get mine fixed. I've already filed the claim with insurance. And they gave an estimate. It's not pretty. There's a deductible I have to hit. So unless they find her at fault, I'm going to end up having to find a way to pay for that. So that's not going to be fun. But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. So yeah. But I'm glad I'm here to share another vlog with you guys, because there's a chance that I might not have been. It could have been so much worse. It could have been so much worse. So guys, that's all I got for this one. I hope that, I don't want to say you enjoyed it. You probably didn't enjoy hearing about my car accident, but I hope this maybe spoke to you somehow about the correct perspective and stuff. And that is one of the main reasons I want to share is me and her, we could have easily pinned this on one another. We could have been sitting there screaming in the parking lot, but we did not. We hugged at one point, like side hugged. That was such a nice attitude between both of us. And I'm so thankful for that. It could have been so much worse. She could have been screaming at me and accusing me of causing the whole thing. And neither of us did that. We told the officer, we don't know exactly what happened. We have our theories and what we think we remember, but we didn't pin it on either person. We didn't pin it on anybody. We didn't. We know one of us obviously did it, but we weren't putting the blame on anybody. And that was so awesome that we could do that, because a lot of people wouldn't. A lot of people wouldn't do that. So yeah. Kindness is always the best thing. And so guys, that's all I got for this. I hope this spoke to you, and thank you so much for watching.